Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Frame Drop F1. I'm Frame Drop Andrew. Today we are reviewing or recapping the French Grand Prix. Wow. I was expecting, honestly, whenever it comes to these circuits, I'm fully expecting just kind of like a boring race. It's either going to be Red Bull or Mercedes going after it, at least this year. When Max went off in the first turn and Lewis just went past him, I thought it was done. Like, that's all we've seen is Mercedes just pulling away like that. I was fully expecting everything to take place, like just Mercedes just to pull away. Red Bull didn't have a chance. Nope, I was wrong. 1-3. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so just kind of jumping into everything. We'll start with pre-race stuff. One of the things that I spoke about in the previous episode in regard to the actual qualifying was Daniel Ricardo, and how I was saying that he's been struggling with the McLaren, and Nico Rosberg this morning kind of reiterated the same thing, saying that he's definitely still struggling with that McLaren. But I was saying that he was just needed to put on a stellar performance out there. Obviously, he's not the #1 driver for McLaren right now. As much as he wants to be, that's obviously Lando, but P5. I mean, let me double check that real quick. I believe it was P5. Yeah, P6. P6. Like, that is where he needs to be. That is putting McLaren in that third spot as in the manufacturer's title that I fully expected them to be at the beginning of the season. So I think that they're doing great. It was overcast the entire day. I was hoping for rain to make it more exciting. Who knew I didn't need it to be more exciting than it already was. Most teams started the race in the medium tires. They were going for the two-stop strategy on there. The one-stop strategy. I thought it was going to be pretty interesting to see how it all played out. But Red Bull, just out of nowhere, two-stop strategy. They pulled a Mercedes. They outclassed them when it comes to tire strategy. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So you're going to hear me talking a lot about this, and I know for a lot of the U.S. viewers, this is going to be something newer. I'm going to be talking about undercuts and overcuts. What an undercut is basically when a car comes in before the other cars to get the tires done. That is called an undercut. They're undercutting the other teams to get in there quickly to get the tire exchange done. That way, they can get more speed on the outlap to try to pass them when the other teams come in to actually get the tires changed. Overcut, just the exact opposite. We saw Sergio Perez do that. He pulled away at the very beginning. They let him stay out for an additional 9 or 10 laps, I believe, and allowed him to catch up to Valtteri Bottas. God, there we go. I can't say his last name. To catch up to Valtteri there at the end, helping him get third place. So that Red Bull utilized both strategies perfectly. Sergio filling out that second spot amazingly on there. So yeah, getting into the race start, Max obviously went off at the beginning. I thought for sure that Mercedes was just going to pull away with it. Perez kind of got left in the dust. I don't know what happened there. Honestly, what I think now is that it was a strategy for Perez from the very beginning. Like, just to kind of hold back a little bit, not push super hard, save those tires. If there's one thing Checo does great, it is preserve his tires. So I think that the strategy worked out for them perfectly. 1-3 on the podium for Red Bull. It couldn't have been more of a masterclass in strategy when it comes to tire regulation. Everybody in the very beginning was saying that, especially Lewis Hamilton was saying that the tires are degrading at a rapid pace. I mean, if I remember right, all the teams can hear each other's transmission. So a lot of the time when you hear Lewis saying that, like, it's to throw off the other teams. So I thought at the very beginning, like, oh, it's just Lewis being Lewis. And all of a sudden, everybody started saying it. And then everybody started saying, hey, this is not working out. The track is colder. Like, it's going to be a two-stop race. We'll get into Valtteri here in a second, just screaming at the team towards the last laps, just cussing him out. This is a fucking two-stop race. Why didn't you listen to me? And he lost out on podium. Like, I would be furious if I was Valtteri. Yeah, Ferrari was the first one into the pits trying to do the undercut. They're shortly followed by Tsunoda. They were hoping to gain enough time to gain positions next round, but man, Ferrari did not have a great day. It just was not a great day for them. What did work out, though, was the massive overcut that was done by who was it? Aston Martin. So, I mean, I think I said earlier that I was hoping I bet Stroll was going to get up to P10, P11 on there. Worked out perfectly. Sebastian was in the points there as well, P9. So, honestly, like, their strategy worked out for where they needed to be right now just to get the points, stay in the points. They haven't been particularly strong on actual tarmac surfaces like we had today at the French Grand Prix, but we'll see how everything goes. Ricardo pulled off the undercut, like just flew past what I think it was 2 competitors right now are there at the end, and then obviously Lando had the quicker pace because he came in a few laps later and was able to catch up to him and pass him eventually, but Ricardo just let him through. So I mean, there's obviously good chemistry going on there in between them. I know Ricardo's a prideful driver, so we'll see how he reacts to everything, but honestly, McLaren, for what they have with their new Mercedes power block in there, I think that they did the best that they could, and I think it honestly worked out perfectly. McLaren halfway through the race was showing the strength that I fully expected from them this year. They really started to push it there at the end, really being the top of the midfield. I really think that next year that it's going to be dangerous for them, especially if they're still using the Mercedes power plant in the back. So one of my notes I had in here is Red Bull undercut and overcut, strategic genius. They knew Max had the pace to close that gap and get back into first, and then obviously his tires started to grade after Lewis came in there, and they just went ahead. Perez is out there at the front. Perez pitted on the hard tires. He obviously had much newer tires, 10 laps newer than Mercedes, so he's able to get to that P3 on there, and Max, last lap pass, it's just masterful driving from the Dutchman. It's crazy. Valtteri did the best that he could to hold off Max with 10 laps to go, but he just did not have anything left in those tires, just screaming at the team. Mercedes this year has just struggled with their strategy. Like, it has been abysmal in some cases. Like, they thought that they got it, but Red Bull just has their number. It is incredible what they're doing. Coming down to the wire, obviously Max pulling off the final pass there with a lap and a half to go. Like, there was no fight from Lewis left. Like, there was nothing left in those tires. And honestly, I don't understand why they didn't bring in Valtteri to get the point for the fastest lap. I mean, like, he was already in 4th place. He wasn't going to get passed for 5th. I mean, that was the best option that they had. Did they really think that he was going to be able to go after it? He was already pissed off. You should just give him the points. So, yeah, last note on here, McLaren, right where I think they should be, P3 in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull up there at P1. Max obviously gaining on, or just lengthening his lead on Lewis Hamilton. Checo on there lengthening his lead from Valtteri. Honestly, incredible race today. I'm glad it didn't rain. That would just throw in a bigger wrench and everything. We wouldn't see the amazing push there at the end. But anyway, I appreciate it again, everybody. Thank you for checking out FDF1, Frame Drop F1. Again, I'm Frame Drop Andrew. Check out our other channel, Frame Drop Gaming. New uploads every Wednesday. I appreciate it. Still no fancy outro or intro. Cut to black.